Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Set the tone, defense, let's go.
Stafford on first down. Open man is Trey Burton. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Looking deep for Gabriel. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
Both set. Start defense. Whip. Real right, 22.
To the air again, Stafford. The catch is made by Riley Ridley. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now throwing on first down and completing it. A gain of 6 there on first. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 22-yard line. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his fourth touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked.
Ready up. Mike Ward. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. 61. Match now.
Fitzpatrick on first down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 21-yard line.
Ready, set.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game too. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And that'll bring up second down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Yeah, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Blue 60.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. That's complete to Robinson. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his 21st touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Looking to throw again on second down. Fitzpatrick, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
25 yards that time. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Now Fitzpatrick. Eluding the pressure right. He gets this into the hands of Kirkwood. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, Fitzpatrick. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Now Lutz for the field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, we got to seal. We got to seal. Omaha, ready, move.
On first down, Stafford here. Looking deep for Gabriel. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. After one, a 14-3 ball game.
Down. 60 or.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
He's not going to get me. Watch the eye. Protein spill. Let's go.
Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Fitzpatrick. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
To throw on 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. From just shy of midfield, Stafford. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Yellow lady! Yellow lady! We got to step it up.
On 1st down at Stafford. This one into the hands of Burton. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. The throw over the middle taken in and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing to Stafford. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line.
Waiting.
And Stafford's going to take it himself. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Matthew Stafford with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. As the Bears push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hey, wahoo! I smell fear in that offense. 0-0, Mike Free. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. Oh, he got got position on him, and he pulls it in. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And the Saints, first down.
This quarterback now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Room to run past midfield. Wide open receiver, complete. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
To throw on 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Stafford now to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Looking downfield for Godwin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And this will do the job nicely, as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Ready?
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 91 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run.
They've got his man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half, as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Out of his end zone, Fitzpatrick. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Stafford. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 16 yards is the pickup there on a first down for Chicago.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
On 1st and 10, Stafford completes it to Davis. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Back to throw, Stafford. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bears capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. They'll try and run it here. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
The Saints take over 1st and 10.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Throwing on second down, Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, Haywood. Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trade in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him.
Now the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the Bears. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From just shy of midfield, Stafford escaping the pressure right. Looking downfield for Godwin. This is caught inside the 15. And in 2 plays just like that, they're already operating in the red zone. That was a fantastic job of keeping that play alive. He had a chance to tuck it. I thought he might.
They work on those situations all the time. This is coached, being able to keep your eyes downfield, keep the play alive, and not automatically run with the football. How about that lesson absorbed?
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as the Bears push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So Mike's number 1, nice step.
On play action, Fitzpatrick. They'll let this go for the end zone. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
On 2nd and 1, Stafford. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Stafford now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for 3rd. Stafford. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together.
And my goodness, another interception. It's Ha-Ha Clinton-Dix with a pick, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
At their
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Again, it's Cohen. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. The 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
180. We want this. Check, 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 check. Zebra. Check, check.
First down, a run with Cohen. Gets past one man. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On second down now, it's Love. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And it brings up third down.
The Bears on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got Burton here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
At their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Shane Ray has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall... looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Gary and Conlon. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
And the Bears first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check 50. 70.
They run. This is Cohen. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Check 20.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Jam.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 16. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick. He gets it to Thomas. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down, Fitzpatrick. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here as he's taken down. Akeem Hicks in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And
as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bears, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they're guaranteed now a sub-500